Flight MH370, the mystery of the missing plane that shocked the world. On a quiet night on March 8, 2014, Malaysia Airlines flight MH370 was preparing to take off from Kuala Lumpur International Airport. It was a routine flight bound for the Chinese capital Beijing with 239 people on board, including 12 crew members and 227 passengers from 14 different nationalities. But what started out as a routine flight turned into one of the greatest mysteries in modern aviation history. The beginning, flying in the dark. At 12:41 a.m. local time, flight MH370 took off from the airport runway. The weather was perfect, and there were no weather warnings. 38 minutes after takeoff, the plane was flying over the South China Sea, where the last communication was made between the cockpit and the control tower. The pilot, Zahari Ahmad Shah, said in his calm voice, "Good night, Malaysian Flight 370. After that, the communication was cut off completely. The mysterious disappearance. At first, air traffic controllers did not notice anything suspicious, but minutes later, the plane suddenly disappeared from civilian radar screens, raising growing concerns. Strangely, Malaysian military radar continued to track the plane for some time, and the data showed that the plane had inexplicably deviated from its original course. Instead of heading north towards Beijing, the plane headed west towards the Strait of Malacca and then south into the depths of the Indian Ocean. Remarkably, the plane's main communication systems were manually disabled, raising suspicions of possible human intervention. The first hours, a race against time. At 6:30 a.m., the plane was supposed to land at Beijing International Airport. But when it did not arrive, many questions began to arise. Malaysian authorities repeatedly tried to contact the plane to no avail. By noon, a large-scale search and rescue operation had been launched, including in the South China Sea, but no trace of the plane had been found. As the families of the passengers anxiously awaited news of their loved ones, the media began covering the event intensively, making the incident a global public opinion issue. The mystery of the missing data. In the following days, Inmarsat's satellite data was analyzed, revealing shocking information. The plane continued to fly for hours after the contact was lost, sending periodic signals to the satellite. These signals did not contain an exact location, but indicated that the plane may have headed south into the Indian Ocean. After analyzing the data, Malaysian authorities determined that the plane crashed in the southern Indian Ocean, thousands of kilometers from the nearest land. This announcement angered the families, who felt that the authorities were rushing without concrete evidence. Conspiracy theories and unanswered questions. With no clear physical evidence, theories about the fate of the plane began to grow. Some believed that the plane was hijacked by unknown individuals, while others suggested that the pilot, Zahari Ahmad Shah, had planned a mass suicide. The first theory, a technical failure or a fire. A fire in the cockpit may have shut down the plane's systems, forcing the pilot to divert course. However, there is no evidence to support this hypothesis conclusively. The second theory, intentional hijacking. The plane's deviation and the disruption of communication systems represent intentional actions, which supports the hijacking theory. But strangely, there were no ransom demands or claims of responsibility from any party. The third theory, the pilot and mass suicide. The pilot Zahari had a flight simulator at home, and investigations showed that he trained on a path similar to the plane's deviation. Was Zahari responsible for this incident? If so, what was his motive? New evidence. Ghosts of the plane. In 2015, a year after the disappearance, a piece of a plane wing was found on the beach of Reunion Island in the Indian Ocean. It was later confirmed that this piece belonged to the missing plane. In the following years, other parts were found in various locations along the coasts of Africa and the islands of the Indian Ocean. But these parts were not enough to explain what happened to the plane or to locate the main wreckage. Falling into the depths of the ocean, experts believe that the plane ran out of fuel and fell into the southern Indian Ocean. But this part of the world is known for its extreme depth and strong currents, making finding the wreckage a near impossible task. The latest underwater search techniques have been used, including robotic submarines and ocean floor scanning, but multi-million-dollar searches have yielded no conclusive results. The tragic legacy. More than a decade after the incident, the mystery of MH370 remains unsolved. The case is not just the story of a missing plane, but a profound human tragedy that has affected hundreds of families and thousands of investigators around the world. To this day, the families of the passengers demand answers, but the ocean holds its secrets. Will the mystery ever be revealed? Or will the truth remain buried deep? Until the end, an open question. What do you think about this mystery? Could the plane have been hijacked? Or is it just a series of tragic mistakes? Share your opinion with us, and stay tuned for more exciting stories.